somebody to do Pledge of Allegiance? Cesar, welcome back. Have you had a good summer? Would you like to do our Pledge of Allegiance tonight for the meeting? We normally ask a student in the audience. Sit down, John. Welcome to the governing board meeting of the Cabrillo Unified School District, August 10th. We met in closed session from 6 to 6:45 and took no action. We are now reconvening the open session at 7. Our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by our student rep, our new student rep from the high school for the year. Go.
Okay, everyone, I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It takes us to item 7, adoption of agenda as presented. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah? That passes 4+1. Takes us to item 8, student staff community recognition. Jane?
So good evening, and it is with great pleasure that I introduce our new administrators in the district. So first I would like Mr. Seth Feldman, if you could stand up, please. So Mr. Feldman is our new principal at Cunha Intermediate School. Seth comes to Cabrillo Unified from the Oak Grove Middle School in the Mount Diablo Unified School District, and he held the position there of vice principal. Mr. Feldman has a JD from Chicago, so be careful. We have a lawyer in Hermit's Kent Law School, a master's in public administrator from East Stroudsburg University, and a BA from York College of Pennsylvania. Prior to becoming an administrator, Mr. Feldman taught middle school language arts and social studies. So thank you, Seth, and welcome to the district. Second administrator I'd like to introduce is Mr. David Pourcel Medina. So Mr. Medina is our new principal at Hatch, actually Mr. Pourcel, sorry, I dropped the wrong one. Mr. Pourcel is the principal at Hatch Elementary School. Mr. Pourcel comes to Cabrillo Unified from Mono Grant Elementary School, where he held the position of vice principal. He has a BA in education from the University of Granada in Spain. Mr. Pourcel also holds a Master of Arts in Educational Leadership from California State University, East Bay. Prior to becoming an administrator, Mr. Pourcel taught grades 1, 2, 4, and 5. Welcome, and congratulations for Hatch.
Thank you.
And then finally, Jean Kuznick, if you could stand, thank you. So this is Ms. Jean Kuznick. She is the assistant principal of Cunha Intermediate School. Ms. Kuznick has a BA in zoology from the University of California, Davis, and earned her master's in ed leadership from California State University, East Bay. Ms. Kuznick has taught high school science classes, and we are thrilled and delighted that she is joining our Cabrillo Unified team.
Welcome to you all.
And welcome to you all. Do you need to? Okay.
Okay, welcome to all of you. We're looking forward to the school year ahead. It takes us to item 9, comments from the public related to items not on this agenda. There are none. I love your little nod, discreet nod. No, Patty. Takes us to item 10, representative reports. Anybody from CUTA? They're still on vacation. CSEA, they're like, summer's not over yet. We don't need to do that. Takes us to item 11, reports, information, and presentations. We'll receive the 2017-2018 district and site staff professional development plans. Welcome, Joy.
I would just like to say, is right before Joy gets started, that she's been kind of working nonstop on 2 of the administrator retreat, the administrative assistant retreat, and also the new teacher orientation today. As we said, unfortunately, John Corey is ill and cannot continue, so we've been stepping up, but Joy has really shouldered a huge portion of it and just has done an absolutely fabulous job.
Thank you, Superintendent Euster. Good evening, President McCammon, and trustees of the board. It's my pleasure today to present to you our professional development plan for 2017-2018. I can tell you that the reason why we do this work is because of our strategic education plan. We organize all of the work that we do around our 4 goals. The strategic education plan, we also refer to it as the local control accountability plan and the LCAP, but I think the strategic education plan is really the best way to capsulize what it really is, which is our plan for how we're going to reach all students and prepare them for the world outside of this district. The first goal of it, of our strategic education plan, is literacy and reclassification, meaning that we really want to support our students in becoming critical and thoughtful readers, to be proficient in the English language. And as you hear about our professional development, you will hear these aspects of meeting those goals through our professional development plan. College and career readiness is also important, meaning that we want to provide students with access to a variety of subject areas, a variety of interests, and then also help them to be critical thinkers, because the jobs that they're going to be going into haven't even been created yet. And I remember being in high school and hearing that, and I did not understand what that really means, but truly, there are jobs that we don't know about yet that our kindergartners are going to be faced with as they head out beyond our district. We also really believe in parent engagement and working with families to support our students in being successful in reaching college and career readiness, literacy, and reclassification. And then the other piece about safety and school climate is at the heart of the work that we do, because we want to make sure that we all see students not only as academic learners, but also as social, emotional little ones and big ones that need that support, the explicit behavioral directions sometimes, and then also the support and the tools necessary to just navigate through this world that can be very complicated. What the professional development plan is it takes these ideas, these goals that we have, and in the structure of time that we have, which is 1 full day on August 16th, which is next Wednesday, and 6 early release days throughout the year, we jam-pack all of these things into a nice package that you can see on 2 pages. These early release days are September, October, January, February, March, and April, and we structure it with a unique blend of district cohesion and shared processes, and then that innovation that you hear at the school sites, because we want school sites to be innovative. We want them to take the unique challenges that they have and tackle those challenges. So we've split it up. You get 50, we get 50. That is, school sites have 50% of the days to organize in a way that really helps them move forward with what they're working on at their school sites. And we spend 50% of the time, which is 3 days, working on that cohesive school district vision that we have. The cohesive school district vision that we have for elementary is to really look at math this year, because math is very complicated, a lot more complicated than it used to be. And as I was reading this and reviewing it, I was listening to Mozart. There's a Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. I thought there was only one way to play it, but clearly Mozart decided there was 12 ways to do it. And as I'm listening to all of these, I think this is really what we're trying to help our students to do, is get past that one right answer and to keep pushing forward for more than just one right answer, but to really understand and expand the way that they think about the world. So with elementary, the focus is really on math, how math is very different than it used to be. And each site has taken on a specific focus. At Hatch, they have the new implementation, thank you to you for adopting Maravillas and Wonders. And so part of their days are going to be spent working on their new curriculum adoption. Another day will also be spent on positive behaviors, interventions, and supports, which supports goal 4 of the strategic education plan, which is safety and school climate. El Granada is also going to be looking closely at positive behaviors, interventions, and supports, specifically looking at the data analysis piece of it so that we can really look at how do we individualize that support for students. And then Fairlawn View's focusing on mindfulness, again, while we're looking at college and career readiness and literacy and reclassification on the other days, they're really focusing on the social emotional component. Kings Mountain is doing a book study on the responsive classroom and focusing their site-based work on that. At secondary, the district-wide work is focused on integrated English language development and the AVID program, Advancement via Individual Determination. Again, these goals support our literacy and reclassification as well as our college and career readiness for our students. At the high school, as you know, they have a new block schedule, so their site-based time is going to be focused on working out some of those kinks and making sure that moving forward there's a lot of smooth communication between teachers. Pillarcitos, similar to both Hatch and El Granada, are going to be working on positive behaviors, interventions, and supports, as well as a component of technology-based learning, because they have a lot of diverse learners in their classes and they want to be able to use technology to support their learning. At Cunha, there's a focus on literacy as well as data analysis, getting into the idea about how do we really support these students on a more individualized basis. So it's very exciting for me to get to see a plan that really is becoming almost like the lattice of an apple pie, because I think that we're starting to really strike a balance between the work we do as a district and that individual innovation of each of the school sites that makes our school district so unique. And it's really my pleasure to present this plan and also to continue to work with the site leaders and teachers in making it actually happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Any questions or comments?
I just have one question around any additional needs that specific teachers might have. Oh, sorry. Summer vacation. Mine's coming back to the microphone. If there are any additional specific needs that teachers have around special subject areas they're teaching in secondary school, or anything, just because I guess we have a separate new teacher. Can you give, I guess, probably because I'm new and I'm learning kind of overall, like, how does this fit into the context of other learning activities we have for teachers? I'll put it that way.
That's a great question, because there is so much learning to be had, just for students as well as teachers and administrators. So this is a foundation that all teachers have access to, all the school sites, all the teachers participate in this. We also have other different types of learning activities. For example, last year the science teachers went to the National Science Teacher Association conference that was in March. We had teachers who were focusing on literacy and participated in Teachers College professional development, teachers who are focusing on math, maybe going to math trainings through Silicon Valley Math Initiative. So each of the content areas has their own specific trainings that are available. And then we also give site-specific support, whether it's through our Common Core specialists. Last year we had a teacher on special assignment who was supporting the elementary schools. Our principals are also excellent instructional leaders. For teachers who are in the Spanish immersion program, there's also Spanish immersion conferences and supports that they have access to. So I would consider this as, let's say, the lattice of it all, and then there's also ice cream that some people get at different times depending on what their needs are.
Okay, good, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Takes us to item 12, there's no discussion items. Item 13, communications. Board members? Start, Kim, Kirk? Would you like to start?
Sure. So, gosh, summer's gone fast, but I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed participating in the graduation ceremonies this year. Kirk was awesome. As we were with the high school graduation and the kids were coming up, he knew the routine and how to coach and kind of guide the kids across the stage. But it was so fun to hand out diplomas and to experience it from the active side and not just the audience side, which I've done a number of times. So I kind of see a little bit more about all the pieces that go together for putting that ceremony together, and it was just an honor to participate. Also, Pillarcitos graduation, I attended both in December as well as the spring, and it's a wonderful ceremony. So thank you to Raj Betcher for putting that ceremony together and making it so meaningful for our students.
It's nice to be back. Hope everyone's been enjoying their summer. It's hard to believe it is almost over, but it's also palpable, I think, the excitement that's in our community around having our new and returning administrators, our teachers, district staff construction, yay, looking really good at a number of our sites. So I feel just in our community, the energy is starting to rise. We're starting to shift from that, like, hanging out at the beach, going to camp, and doing this and that, and vacation at the lake, and coming back, and I feel like this buzz is starting to happen in Half Moon Bay and the coast side in general, which is really such a fun time of the year. So I just want to say thank you to everyone already for being part of that kind of uprising and energy and good vibes, and really looking forward to working with everybody again in the upcoming new school year. So it's cool to have everyone start to come together and kick it off.
Just a brief comment, it's, you can sense the energy and things coming back to the district, and everything's kind of waking up again. As a Hatch neighbor, I can testify that they've really been cranking it to get that campus in shape and done, and I think they're gonna pull it off. Everybody seems hopeful, and if they don't, it's not because we haven't been pushing them and they haven't really been booking. I mean, weekends, late in the evening, I hope so. It's looking good, and it'd be nice to see it just settled as a site again, only much prettier. So good to see.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate some of the comments already, but looking forward to the new school year. Welcome to all of our new principals and staff. We've got new teachers coming on. Welcome to all the folks who are coming back in next week for some exciting training days and other opportunities. And then, of course, the students who will arrive on the 21st, the day of the solar eclipse as well. So hopefully it all won't be too crazy. They'll have fun. And just wanted to, I've completely spaced what I was going to say. So I guess we're done. Never mind.
So takes us to item 13.
Oh, no, it's the student board member. Sorry.
Hi everyone.
Welcome.
So I'm the new student board rep, and my name is Cesar Sarabia, and I just want to talk about how much improvement we've been doing, especially this year. With El Granada, they're getting ready to start the year. We're welcoming 3 new teachers, Mike Berrigan, Rebecca Laws, and Brittany Hooker. At the beginning of the year, events include the PTO-sponsored Kinder Playdate on August 18, a principal coffee and conversation on the first day of school, and our open house on August 31st. El Granada is also developing activities for our students to learn and enjoy the solar eclipse on August 21st. And with Half Moon Bay High School, this August, we have been preparing for the new school year. Starting on Monday, on the 21st, this Monday, we will have our annual freshman orientation for the class of 2021. This orientation helps the class by meeting their counselors, taking a campus tour, and making new friends at our complimentary barbecue. On Tuesday, all returning high school students will be picking their schedules in between the hours of 8 a.m. through 5 p.m. So far, we have made many new changes which will make huge differences, including next year's block schedule, which I'm really excited about. And also, the school has decided to remodel the football field and are currently still working on the bleachers, which will now include easy access for those with disabilities, which is also a great thing and a great improvement for our school. And finally, the first day of school will begin on August 21st, and that night at the high school, it will be our first fall sports meeting for any high schoolers interested in playing a fall sport. But other than that, I think all the schools have been making a huge improvement on getting new staff members, returning staff members, new principals, and just making a huge improvement on the whole reconstruction for the new school year. Thank you.
So we've been very, very busy. As you can hear, lots of construction over the summer, and we're very excited to unveil it this fall. Lots of hiring activities, and I have met all of our incoming new teachers, and we have a great group coming in. Kids are going to be in great hands. I've talked to some of our returning teachers. They're very excited to be coming back. The facilities are getting cleaned and all the floors, so all the rituals that indicate to us that the reason that we're in business are getting ready to arrive right back through our front doors with big smiles on their face, hopefully not too many tears from the little ones or the big ones, but with the enthusiasm, it's why we're here, and the energy is starting, but the first time you walk through the door and those kids are there, it's just like a shot of adrenaline. And so can't wait to welcome our students back. Huge compliments to Human Resources and all of the departments for getting everything done, from maintenance, operation, everybody who has just tirelessly worked all summer long. We're back in business. 2 weeks from today, back in business.
So I'm going to take the president's prerogative and say what I meant to say earlier, which I have now remembered. So I'm not that old that I completely forgot it. But anyways, I want to say thank you and congratulations to the folks who did work all summer, not just all of us who had vacations and other time off, because we did have a bunch of construction going on, and that was really wonderful. We also had summer school, which is a really, really important part of our program, important part of our strategic education plan, and helping to make sure that children are brought up to where they need to be or kept at the level they need to be. So I just want to say, I know we'll have a report on summer school at some point, but I just wanted to say thank you to all of those folks who haven't had that full summer and have been working hard all summer. So that was all.
Glad you added that.
I remembered. It takes us to item 14, consent items. You can see I've had the brain drain from summer. I needed summer school join. Do I have a motion to approve consent items?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Plus one. You gotta say it loud. You all did, the student board rep didn't always have the right to vote on motions.
Okay.
And a couple of years ago, one of our board reps petitioned for that and got it approved, so it's a special right that you have.
Just say it loud. You got it.
So that passed 4 + 1 to 0. Takes us to action items. 15A, approved salary increase for noon duty supervisors.
So noon duty supervisors are not represented by either of our collective bargaining groups. And we looked up the salaries, and the last time we made an adjustment to our noon duties, and it's 10 years ago. So it's long overdue for an adjustment. So we're proposing the current salary is $11.22 an hour, and we're proposing to move it to $12.75. The noon duties play an absolutely vital role in our schools. There are assisting kids, there are safety and security, and they do a spectacular job, and they more than deserve this compensation.
Great, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Or comments, questions, discussion?
I'd just like to comment. I think this is an incredibly important job or duty that's done, and it's in the middle of the day, so it really sets your day, your day's schedule, right? So I really applaud the folks that basically volunteered to do this. This is not a lot of money, and I'm glad to see it increase their salary. It's a little bit that we pay.
Thank you.
I would second that comment and just say how it so directly ties into our LCUP strategic education plan goal number 4 as well, in terms of the social and emotional. Those guys play such a huge role in all of that in terms of the support they give kids during the breaks. So couldn't be more happy to support this.
Great. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's 4 + 1. Takes us to item 15B. I heard him this time. Adopt resolution number 16-17, authorizing the issuance and sale of the 2017 general obligation refunding.
Yes, this is actually very exciting because we're not spending any money, we're actually getting money. So tonight I bring you Resolution 1617. The district desires to initiate the proceedings for the issuance of the 2017 general obligation refunding of bonds. These are for certain maturities from the 2012 Series A general obligation bonds for debt service savings to our wonderful community, our wonderful generous community. So in order to begin that process, I do ask that you adopt Resolution 16-17.
Thank you, Crystal. Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second? Okay, any comments, questions, or discussion?
Excited. Agreed. Let's do it.
Always good. decided to save money. So it's a roll call vote. We'll start on this side.
Aye.
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 Passes 4+1. Takes us to item 15C, approve responses to San Mateo County Grand Jury Report. How have San Mateo County Public Schools responded to the epinephrine auto-injector law?
So California SB 1266 was passed in January 2015. It requires the presence of EpiPen and personnel trained to use these EpiPens in all school sites. And then, so the grand jury wanted to find out how well the schools were doing in the adoption of this. Cabrillo is very lucky that we are a member of the San Mateo County Insurance Group, and as part of the services to the district from the San Mateo County Insurance Group, they provide us with EpiPens. And not only do they provide us with EpiPens, they also provide us with trainings and all the backup we need. So the district is in full compliance with SB 1266, and in fact, all of us got trained last year with Greg and our nurse here teaching us all how to use the EpiPens. So the district is in full compliance with the recommendations of the grand jury.
Great. Motion to approve our responses to the grand jury? Second?
Second.
Any comments, questions, discussion?
I'm grateful that the county's offsetting the cost of that.
Yes,
It's
makes it-
now down to the roof. Very important to have this.
And it's great that we're ahead of the game, that we've already got it done,
course.
so. Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4+1 passes. Takes us to item 15D, approve responses to San Mateo County Grand Jury Report. They've been busy over the summer. Should tire-derived products be used on athletic fields in San Mateo County schools?
So there's been a lot of press and a lot of activity around the use of these tire-based products, also particularly the recycled rubber, known also as crumb rubber. So you may have heard it any number of ways. There is not scientific data at this point indicating any causal effect of exposure to crumb rubber products and health impacts or hazard. However, the data is quite old, and so a request has been made to the Environmental Protection Agency to repeat the studies with the current crumb rubber products. The grand jury examined this situation. They polled all of the districts in San Mateo County, asking us basically what was going on. The grand jury, in its report and findings, also acknowledges there is no scientific causal link between health issues. There is anecdotal stories of it, but there isn't a proven causal link. Nonetheless, the grand jury recommends that districts get involved with a process to deal with the public whenever they are now making a decision upon replacement or handling of the fields. So Cabrillo has been very much aware of this situation, and as we got ready to redo the high school field, we were very much, again, we know there's not a causal link. We know the scientific evidence isn't here. However, our first and foremost priority is the safety of our students. So erring on the side always of caution for our students, Cabrillo voluntarily placed a moratorium on crumb rubber project before the crowning grand jury, and thus you see the beautiful organic cork field that now is in place at Half Moon Bay High School. So once again, Cabrillo was ahead of these because we paid attention to the situation. We will await to decide if we need to take any corrective actions to our other fields existing. We await the report from the Environmental Protection Agency or the Center for Disease Control. It's not clear who will do it. But when we get the scientific studies from either of these organizations, they will guide us in any future decision. We certainly stand prepared should a health risk be there. Obviously, we'll take immediate action on our remaining fields. But instead, we are at this point in moratorium. We will not make any new fields that we bring into this district containing any program project. So we actually have been very proactive in this because safety of our students is our #1 concern.
Thank you, Jane. Motion to approve our responses?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Any comments, questions, discussion?
I want to thank Jane and the group for their leadership in taking the lead on this and making sure that we are making the best decision we can with the information we have. It may be a decade before they finish reanalyzing this, and whether it'll even happen again is interesting. But thank you for taking the leadership so we can move ahead and replace the field when it needs to be replaced, and now we can have a new surface to play on, ready to go. Great work. Thank you.
So also, thank you. I think the work that we're doing with the high school is terrific to see the transition to the cork-based products there. My questions with regard to CUNA, given the timeline for having data from studies that have yet to be committed to and unclear when those commitments will be made, would we consider, and I don't know how the fields work, but would we consider replacing content that's there now?
The situation is that if scientific evidence comes forth that causes us to have to replace, if there's a causal link established, we will replace the CUNA field out of sequence. Without causality, and as Dr. Reamer is very correct, I don't know how long it will take them to complete studies. If CUNA field comes to the end of its useful life, we won't replace it with another rubber infield. So as we go through the life of our artificial turf and we come to replacement time on them, we will systematically start removing the rubber away just in overabundance of caution. But to take our field, I think the CUNA field's got 5-6 years to go on it. To take them out of cycle at this time, the district would need to see more evidence. I mean, we need some real scientific evidence here, because the last studies from EPA, just so you know, the scientific evidence base says no causality, no link. So
It's not a lack of showing a link, it's data showing there is no link.
correct. The data is already there showing no causality. However, due to all the anecdotal, there's a call for the studies to be repeated and looked at one more time. So this isn't the fact that no data. I'd be even more conservative if there was no base of evidence indicating here, but there is a base of evidence that says it's not a causal. And so we take the very conservative approach as we systematically we'll replace away. Should data come forward that is scientifically valid data and causes us to move quicker, then we will. You know, it's what's good for our kids.
Any more questions or comments, discussion? Yeah, I think it's great that we're at the high school at least moving on the precautionary principle and moving forward in that direction as that conversation that we had previous. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4 + 1 to 0. It takes us to item 15E, approve renewal of the term of the superintendent's contract. Sorry, that was I need to start bringing my reading glasses to meetings. What's happening? No, I'm good for now. So do I introduce that?
Don't make me. Somebody else introduce it.
Okay, I will.
It's like really
I
hard.
will introduce this. So annually, we evaluate the superintendent. I'm sure as many of you know, the board's official hiring, firing, and management is only of the superintendent. We hire and fire and manage our superintendent. And so annually, we do a review. We did our review of Jane in July, and she passed with many, many stars and accolades, and we really, really appreciate her dedication to this district, her hard work, her visibility, her communication, her professionalism, her ability to step into things that not always can superintendents do, coming and doing professional development at Hatch and other kinds of opportunities, her openness to new ideas, and her leadership on new initiatives such as the block schedule at the high school, early college, other things that have been really wonderful. So we really, really appreciate Jane, and so we are now officially rolling her contract for one more year, so she will now have another 3-year contract with the district, and we are very happy that she as well is willing to continue working with us. There are moments when it gets more difficult, I'm sure, like right now. She's also stepping in at this moment and taking off a lot of the HR responsibilities, and we wish John Corey all the health in the future. So any other comments on the evaluation process, or?
I'd just say that was well said. I think that touches on all the points that we communicated to Jane, and I think she's happy with the result of that. And we look forward to many more years for tenure here.
Any further? Okay, so all in favor of renewing the term of the superintendent's contract? Oh wait, did we have a motion already? Okay, motion please.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Sorry, I did that out of order, Patty.
No problem.
It's approved 4 + 1 to 0. And then the last is 15F, approved policy maintenance updates.
Okay, we have 2 of them for you this evening. The first of them is a board policy about the local control accountability plan. It's really a minor. They struck out the language going aligned with state and local priorities, and that's basically it. So, as usual, CSBA keeps us abreast of these things, so this is the first of the policies, and you can actually see us, the black line version, 4 words are out, but it brings us now into compliance with what is requested. The second, and I will clarify, allow me to please correct and clarify, I brought to you a reading about a board policy the last meeting. So I was correct on why the board policy, which is namely now is required to have financing mechanism before you go into certain bond and type financing mechanism. You must have a board policy related to it. This is not a markup of an existing policy. It's brand new board policy, which I began to think of the more I talked to you about it. My apologies. It is brand new board policy. This now becomes the second reading and adoption for the new board policy, which is the required board policy for us to be able to refinance, the refinancing mechanism that Crystal was talking to you about. Is there? Oh.
There's one on the LCAP.
I did that first.
That's
That's the one I did first. Yeah, that was the word change one.
all that's been changed in this?
That's all that's been changed.
But we already had the
Just to clarify then, we,
0460?
yeah, so about the, so we're doing this as far as the consulting with teachers, principals, administrators, and other personnel, bargaining units, and parents in developing LCAT, and
We do.
we unduplicate it?
Absolutely.
Okay, great, okay.
We do about 120 meetings in the course of that.
I hadn't seen that language specifically, so, okay. so
That's the
all.
requirements.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any comments, questions, discussion?
That was my.
Sorry,
Thank you.
we're going all out of order. Okay, all in favor?
As long as we do.
Aye. Aye. Kim?
Aye.
Okay. Passes 4 + 1 to 0. It takes us to item 16, future board agenda items. We'll receive the state of the district report, and that'll be in September or October?
September.
Okay. Summer intervention program report.
Not there's a
will that be
little
in
panic from the superintendent.
September as well. School site plans, that's October, right?
Yes.
Unaudited actuals, also October. September, okay. Statement of assurances for textbooks and instructional materials.
September, yeah. September.
And receive the English language learner report.
October.
EEL.
That's going to be embedded, that'll be embedded with our LCAP Goal 1 update,
Okay.
which
So
is in November.
Okay, perfect. So future events dates, August 17th is the Pilarcitos High School Back-to-School Night at 6 p.m. August 16th is the district-wide staff development day. August 17th to 18th are teacher work days. August 21st is the first day of classes for students. August 29th is the back-to-school night for Kings Mountain Elementary. August 30th is the back-to-school night for Hatch Elementary. August 31st is the back-to-school night for El Granada Elementary. And August 30th is the back-to-school night for the Fairlawn View Elementary. So Hatch and Fairlawn, you're gonna be very busy.
Yes, I am.
September 4th is our Labor Day holiday. All school sites are closed. September 5th is the Chamber Education Committee meeting. September 6th is back to school night at the Half Moon Bay Hive. September 7th is back to school night at Cunha. And September 14th will be our next regular governing board meeting. We are going to be returning to closed session, so we will not have a motion to adjourn. Thank you all for coming. A very short meeting.